What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to be doing some penetration tests with Subsonic 4570 ammo. I'm going to be shooting some Hornady Subsonic ammo at water jugs and framing lumber. I'm going to be using some Douglas fir 2x10 framing lumber and some 1-gallon water jugs. And the purpose of the test is to see what kind of expansion we get with this Subsonic ammo and this Hornady 410 grain Sub X bullet. I want to see if the core and jacket stay together. I want to see how deep this bullet penetrates. And then we're going to take a closer look at the recovered bullets and compare the results to some other cartridges I've tested. And the rifle I'm going to be using in this test is a Marlin 1895, and it has a Silencer Co. Hybrid 46 attached to it. We're going to be using this suppressor during the test, and this ammo is Subsonic. I have confirmed it. I chronographed this ammo and I get around 950 feet per second at around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I swapped out the walnut forend for a Midwest Industries M-Lock forend. I have a Brockman's tritium front sight with steel wings, and I have a Burris 2-7 by 32 scope, Wild West Guns big loop lever, Wild West Guns trigger, and here I have a Mason leather cartridge cuff. Highly recommend it. If you want to get one like this, check out masonleather.com. Use the promo code NY10 to get 10% off your entire order. And what I love about this cartridge cuff is that the loops are nice and thick and they hold the cartridges nice and snug, not too snug, and they definitely don't loosen up over time like the cheap nylon ones. And you can get different things stamped on the other side. So check out masonleather.com, veteran-owned small business. Support your veterans, support your small businesses. Use the promo code NY10 to get 10% off your entire order. They also sell other things besides cartridge cuffs, other leather products. So let's see what happens, guys. Let's see how many pieces of Douglas fir 2x10 this Hornady Sub X bullet will penetrate through at just over 950 feet per second. Here's the box if you want to see what the box looks like. Okay. They claim 1,075 feet per second. Like I said, I get around 950 feet per second at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And they claim that this thing is locked. The core and the jacket are locked together. We're going to test that out, see what happens. So let's see what happens, guys. What do you think? Think the results are going to be good or not good? All right, guys, 4570, 410 grain Hornady Sub X Subsonic suppressed. We penetrated through 6 of these 1-gallon water bottles, and it looks like the bullet shed its jacket at some point when it was penetrating through all these water bottles. I can't tell in which water bottle the jacket separated from the core. Potentially the 3rd or 4th bottle. Looks like this might have been the first one. Check that out. Nice exit hole there. Got another nice exit hole on this one. You can see the bottle just split apart. And then here we have the bottle that has the jacket in it. Okay, there you can see the expansion tip and the jacket. That red piece of plastic helps the bullet to expand at low velocities. And there's the jacket, but there's no lead in there. But what's interesting is the lead core continued to penetrate through the bottles after it shed its jacket. So here's the fourth bottle. Looks like the fourth bottle possibly. Okay. Here's the fifth bottle. And there's the exit hole right there. And then here's the sixth bottle. You can see the entrance or exit hole right there. I can't tell which is which. This looks like the exit hole actually. And then there's the entrance hole. And then here's our seventh bottle, and it didn't actually penetrate this bottle, but it did poke a little tiny hole. As you can see, water squirting out of it when I squeeze on it. Okay, so 6 bottles, guys. That's pretty impressive for a subsonic round. 410 grain bullet traveling at around 1,000 feet per second, or probably closer to 950 feet per second, because it's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit out here. So pretty interesting. I'm going to see if I can find the core anywhere. I don't think I'll be able to find it. It's like finding a needle in a haystack over here. Got all this gravel, so the lead just blends in with the gravel. I'm going to see if I can find the core, and then we'll take a closer look at that jacket. All right, guys, so let me show you how many boards that Hornady 410 grain sub X went through. So here's our first board. Passed through no problem. Here's our second board. Not much of an exit hole, really. And that's because it probably isn't really expanding much at that speed. And then here we have the third board, and looks like one of them got stuck in the third board. We have some jacket material here, and you can see that bullet stuck in the third board, and the other bullet still going through. And here's the exit hole in the third board. Here we have the fourth board, and you can see there's this massive knot here. And I suspect that's why that one bullet didn't pass through the third board, because of this giant knot. But the other one kept going through. So this is the fourth board. Okay. There's the exit hole on the fourth board. And then here we have the fifth board. And here's the entrance hole on the fifth board. You can see some pieces of the expansion tip there. Those red pieces of plastic help the bullet expand. And then it looks like it wanted to poke out the back of the fifth board, but not quite. You can see the wood there So almost 5 boards, guys. That's pretty impressive. That's about the same as a 44 Magnum with hard cast bullets from a snub nose revolver. That's what my 2 3/4 inch barrel Smith & Wesson Model 629 can do. So about the same penetration as a 44 Magnum with bear loads, hard cast bear loads. So that's pretty good for a soft bullet, for an expanding bullet. So let me dig these bullets out. We'll take a closer look. We'll weigh them. We'll see what kind of expansion we got, what kind of weight retention we got, and whether the bullets held together or not. And then we'll compare the bullets to what I found from the water bottles. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So here are the bullets. This is the one that almost penetrated through 5 boards. And you can see not much expansion. And these bullets have really thin jackets, not much expansion at all in the wood, but that's to be expected because wood is dry and these bullets were traveling pretty slow, so that's to be expected. Still some expansion there, but not too much more than the diameter of the bullet itself. And then here's the one that hit the knot. And you can see it just got totally messed up. The jacket is quite thin, as you can see. So this wouldn't be a good bullet to use against thick skin game or against any kind of barrier. Probably would just get blown apart if it hit a barrier. And then here we have the jacket from the water bottles. As you can see, the jacket is quite thin. I mean, I can easily bend that metal. I mean, there's not much to it. So I'm a little bit disappointed, guys, because on the box it says that they have an interlock ring to hold the core with the jacket, and they talked it up as if it's a pretty solid bullet that's going to hold together, but it doesn't look like it. It's definitely not an XTP. So unfortunately, I would say this bullet is probably a 4 or 5 out of 10 in my opinion. It's good for plinking. It's better than nothing, obviously, in a self-defense situation or maybe for deer hunting. But if you have to use this against any kind of hard target or thick skin game, definitely it's not going to hold up. So the reason I did a test with wood and water is they represent opposite extremes. So water, you're going to have the maximum expansion, and wood, you're going to have minimum expansion because it's dry. So this way you can see what these bullets will do in a drier target like wood, and then in water, this is what you get. Okay, so practically in the real world, against any kind of living thing, you're probably going to have expansion somewhere in between this and this. Okay, so let's weigh these bullets and see what kind of weight retention we got.